Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm sitting on my greenhouse floor because I'm going to be doing some more propagating. I have a Philodendron Gloriosum which I want to propagate, which is this beauty right here. So I bought this girl when she was just a single leaf cutting and it has grown pretty well for me. If you don't know, Philodendron Gloriosum are crawlers, so they crawl along the ground and they root down into the ground as they crawl, and that is what makes them really good for propagation. So 9 times out of 10 as they crawl along the soil, each node they will sort of root down, so when you come to propagate it, each node should technically already be rooted into the ground, so it's just a matter of rooted into your substrate, so it's just a matter of cutting in between the nodes and separating the plant. Now I cut this already probably about a week ago now. I just went in there with the scissors, cut in between the nodes that I wanted to propagate, and I've just given them a week to callus over, and I will show you close up of what that looks like. So that is sort of what a Gloriosum stem looks like, and as you can see I have made one cut there, one cut there, and one cut there. So I'm going to propagate it into 4 separate plants. So basically I'm going to keep the tip cutting, I'm going to repot it back into here, sort of starting down here, so it can continue to crawl across and mature hopefully. And these other ones I am going to separate out and pot them up individually. And if you can see, the auxiliary buds here and here have already activated since I've cut it. So the plant knows that it's been cut and it is sending out some new growth, and same on that one there. So that's really exciting. So it's already on its way to growing. So all I need to do is take this out of the pot and separate the cuttings. Hopefully you can see it. There's no real easy way to do it, but I'm basically just gonna tip it on its side, loosen it off. I might actually take the tray off the bottom. Ooh, she is pretty rooted. Wowee, okay, this is probably going to be a bit tricky then, eh? I want to be really careful because she does have a new leaf. Oh my gosh, it is so stuck in there. Holy smokes. Okay. Wowee. Okay, it has come out and it has an incredible root system. Holy smokes, this is going to be fun to try and separate. See all those roots? Wow. Okay, so she's out of the pot and now I'm just going to gently loosen up all these incredible roots. Also, when you're propagating plants like this, don't be scared if you break some roots. As you can see, it's pretty well established, so breaking a few small roots is not going to hinder it too much. Obviously, don't just go ripping and shredding the roots. Be as gentle as you can, but if you do happen to break some, don't stress. It's nothing major. It will cause a little bit of stress to the plant, but cutting it and repotting it is going to cause stress to the plant. So once it's potted up into its new pot, it'll settle in and it will regrow some of the roots it's lost back, and then it will be happy again and start growing. So yeah, don't stress if you break a few roots in the propagating and transplanting process. that is the tip cutting separated. So as you can see, it's got 2 leaves. This is a new leaf. I did slightly damage it. My bad. I should have waited until it was a bit more hardened off, but it has a beautiful root system on both nodes. So this is going to be planted back into here like so, and then it can continue to crawl along this pot. So I'm just going to pop this aside and continue with this mass of roots. Okay, so I've finally separated all the cuttings. I did actually manage to cut the very first node into 2, so I've actually got 5 cuttings from this plant. I just want to show you. So this was the original leaf that I got sent, and look at its root system. Like, there is no way I'm going to untangle all these roots. So this is the original part of the plant, and it is extremely well rooted. So that is one. I don't know if I'm going to have a pot big enough for that. This is the next cutting. So as you can see, it has a little auxiliary bud there that is activated, and these are its roots. Like, the roots are so long. So I've got that cutting there. I have this one, which again has the auxiliary bud activated and a substantial amount of roots. So that's 3. And this guy, which is one of the first big leaves it gave me, and that has a really nice bud activated and a nice set of roots as well. And then I've got the tip cutting. Okay, so now I need to find some pots to pot these up. Okay, so found some pots. So I'm going to, for the 3 smaller cuttings, I'm going to use these 15 centimeter clear pots for those. For the very first base cutting, I'm going to use this massive black pot. And then obviously for the tip cutting, I'm going to put it back into this pot. And yeah, I'm just going to mix up some soil. I recently purchased some worm castings, which is like a natural slow release fertilizer, which I'm going to mix into my potting mix. So hopefully give these guys a good boost to help them grow. So I'm going to go and grab that. I'm going to mix some in with my soil mix, and then I will pot them up. So when you are potting up cuttings, make sure you match the pot to suit the plant's roots, so not the foliage. So you always want to match the pot to the root size. So as you can see on this one, the roots are substantial. They almost fill up this pot, so this is suitable for that root structure. These root structures are a little bit smaller. They're still really amazing, but they're a little bit smaller, and you can see they take up a nice majority of the pot. The only exception is this one, but I'm confident that this one will be okay because it is like a shallow pot, even though it's long, so the soil to root ratio is not going to be too out of balance. And these guys are really fast growers too, so I have no issues with the roots filling up this pot. So yeah, always match the pot to your root size, not the foliage size. So for the original cutting, I'm actually going to reuse this soil mix that was already in the pot because it's still really good. Like, that Gloriosum hasn't been in that pot maybe less than 6 months, and it has grown that much, so this soil is still pretty fresh. But I'm going to add a sprinkling of worm castings to it, and I'm just going to mix that in just to give it a little boost. And I'm also confident there's no bugs or nasties in this soil. It is still super fresh, super healthy, and yeah, I know this plant is pest free. So when you're repotting plants, you always want to put a nice layer of soil on the bottom of the pot first. That'll give the roots something to grow down into. Then you can put your cutting or plant back into the pot. And because this guy's roots are so big, I'm going to put another layer to cover those bottom ones and then sit that clump on top like that. I can't get over these roots, man. Like, they are so big and healthy. I'm so happy because this plant originally, when I bought it, was quite a big investment for me. I paid, I think it was 400 or 450 New Zealand dollars. This was a little while ago when they were still fairly uncommon, but the price has definitely come down quite a bit. I sold a little plant on my shop maybe end of last year for 250. So yeah, they definitely come down in price quite a bit. So once you've got all your soil in, just give it a good tap. And what this does is it ensures there's no air pockets in the soil, so it'll jiggle the soil in and amongst the roots, make sure everything is covered. Okay, I'm actually going to add some fresh soil to the top because there wasn't quite enough of that. And then gently push down. Cool, and I make these little U's out of some wire, some garden wire, and this just helps secure the cutting in place and stops it moving around. So once I've repotted everything, I will give them a good water. But for now, that is the base cutting potted up, and I'm going to pop it aside and do the other ones. Okay, I'm going to do the tip cutting because I don't want it to sit out of soil for too long. So I'm just going to gently pop her down. I'm going to mix some worm castings into my soil mix I have. This is my first time actually trying worm castings, but I see people use it overseas all the time in their potting mix, and I saw a store in New Zealand selling it, so I thought I would give it a whirl. Okay, so I'm just going to put a layer of soil down here. Like so. And then when you're planting it, you want to plant it as far back as you can because obviously it is a crawler and it is going to crawl along here. So should I put it down? I might, yeah, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little lip along this pot, and that is how much I'm going to fill the pot up to. So as you can see, I've added the 2 little wire loops to hold it in place, and I've just also supported it with some little skewers because that leaf is quite big and quite heavy. It wants to topple over. So once the roots establish in there, that will be all good to go. Can you tell it's hot in here? So hot. Okay, so I've just mixed up some more potting mix, and now I'm going to pot these 3 single leaf cuttings up. I mean, how gorgeous. Gloriosum is so gorgeous. Actually, any velvet leaf I find very attractive. I love a good velvet leaf plant. Things like Philodendron melanochrysum, Philodendron camposportuanum, Philodendron micans, Gloriosum, things like Anthurium. I really like the velvet leaf Anthurium. Yeah, there's just something about that sort of shimmery sheen that screams I'm a luxurious plant, you know? Or is that just me? I really wish we could get Philodendron gigas and Philodendron splendid. I wish we could get those in New Zealand. I mean, we probably can, but I've never seen them. Oh, and Philodendron Gloriosum too. Beautiful. Love that plant. Although, kind of spidey mighty magnets. Am I the only one that finds them spider mighty magnets? I find Gloriosum to be quite pest magnety. I don't actually, fun fact, I don't actually own a Gloriosum anymore. I propagated my mother plant all up for the shop. Obviously I've still got cuttings in my prop boxes, but I don't have one inside. I just don't have any room anymore, you know. So that is this girl all potted up. Again, I've given her a little stick for support to hold up this big beautiful leaf until its roots sort of fill out the pot and get a bit more acquainted with their new home. And now I've just got these two to go. It's so hot. Okay, squad, looking good. Oh, don't they look beautiful? I love, especially that one there, that really white contrasting veining. It just looks so beautiful. But that is the squad. So I have 3 cuttings. Got the original base of the plant and the new growth tip with the new leafy. I am so happy. I kind of just want to leave them there and just look at them because they look so beautiful together. But I'm going to give them a nice drink of water. I am going to put the tip cutting back inside where the original plant was, and I don't know, maybe I'll put all of these back inside. I just don't want to run the risk of like a slug or snail eating them. I like the more stable temperature inside, so yeah, I think I'm going to put these all inside. But yeah, that is the beautiful Philodendron Gloriosum Propagate. Sorry, you're going to have to look at my red face. Maybe I'll put this here. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little thing about propagating Philodendron Gloriosum. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like planty content, as I post mainly houseplant content. Yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye! Crawling plant. If you don't know,